I have no idea why you think doing this is a good idea. When I was in Japan, I was so disturbed at how normalized pedophilia and CP is. Hey doofus, think about what you just said very carefully. If you think that is CP, why are you taking a picture of it and sharing it everywhere online? You just committed a crime. What is wrong with you? Fortunately for you, that is not CP. That is just lowly doujin art. You won't be on Twitter X jail for posting this, and you certainly won't be contacted by the police posting this. That's why you posted this whole thing. You know for a fact it's not illegal because otherwise you won't be doing it. At this art convention, there's a whole aisle of different artists selling their CP and creepy men purchasing it. I couldn't believe my eyes. So you went to an 18+ anime art convention and is shocked that you find 18+ anime artists. How about you just, I don't know, don't go there? Oh, this person locked their account since the event. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe because sharing what you thought was CP was a horrible idea. Even more misunderstandings of fiction and reality. Doujin, and it's a photo of two little girls. That's not a photo. That's a drawing of Kana and Riko from Dragon Maid. A photo implies reality. That is fiction. The quote is pretty good though. If you're an adult who is unable to separate reality from fiction, please do not purchase doujins. I just hate CSAM, so I posted too fast. Those are not real children. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid has been available on streaming, and the manga has been distributed legally anywhere. It's not CSAM at all. Heck, not even the doujins are CSAM because CSAM requires real people, not fictional characters. Yeah, man, I get it. They aren't real and all, but I still personally think that the fact that you masturbate to Eastern drawings obviously stylized to look like minors on a regular basis, and on top of all that, try to pass it off as a completely normal human behavior says a lot about you as a person. Bro, just say, I still don't like you as a person. You can like or not like whoever you want. That is still not enough for prosecution. Also, try to pass it off as completely normal human behavior. We don't. We don't care what you consider normal or not. We care that you falsely accuse us of being child predators for liking fictional characters. You can call us degenerate. You can say that we are gross. But we are not child predators. Dude, if fiction doesn't affect reality, then why does that fictional child make your real dick hard? Wow, complete and total ignorance of the nuance of that statement. At least this one isn't a huge text dump of a meme. Also, it's still fictional. I thought replying to this one is going to be a bit long. Here's my semi-annual reminder that lolicons are pedophiles, point blank period. If you disagree, just unfollow. I will be blocking anyone attempting to defend it unless you answer this first. What do you mean by answer this first? Just set your block button already. Can you just explain to me what specifically about this character you find sexually attractive? They are fictional. They are not real. Seriously, a lot of you miss that fact quite a lot. Oh, sorry. Do you want me to say that they look like a child and that's why I find them attractive right close to this microphone before you take that out of context and make a fool of yourself? Sorry, but that would be both wrong and a lie. Because one, that is not the reason why I like, say, Emmy from Kotowa Shoujo. And two, she does not look like a real child. If you think she does, you actually need to go outside and look at the real human child. Actually, no, because most likely you're gonna be a danger to them. Since you can't tell the difference between fiction and reality, allow me to beat the crap out of a child for you. The amount of hate that Japan gets is rather astonishing. People don't want to talk about the normalization and culture of these things in media in Japan because they like their weeb Japan is perfect ideology. Bro, they talk about these all the time. The problem is, when they talk about normalization, they're talking out of their ass. The post on the top quite literally talks about how Japan is pedophilic for having anime. Nice xenophobia there. They definitely don't have the critical thinking to understand how it's effective when coming to the US as a media either. Bro, you can't even make proper coherent sentences. What makes you think you're an authority on critical thinking when your brand of critical thinking involves being morally outraged at anime? Reminder to all the moral guardians out there, ew, gross is not critical thinking. Japan is a pedophilic country full of misogyny and racism, but people will still glamorize it. The spelling of glamorize with an S. I'm sorry that you have to live in countries that don't have as much freedom, but back to your point, or lack thereof, Japan is absolutely none of those things that you describe, but continue spreading that false xenophobic beliefs. It'll make you look good calling a whole country pedophilic when they have the lowest child sex crimes out of first world countries, right? Women and children aren't speaking out, and barely anyone in Japan gets convicted for sexual crimes. Plus, it's normalized. Wow, another blatant misinformation. If anyone says that Japan's crime rate is low because people don't report that much, they're just denying statistics. The fact is, Japan's crime rate towards women and children really is that low. Unfortunately, their mental health is not the greatest, but in this day and age, who is? Also, the reason why there aren't a lot of convictions in Japan, that's because there aren't a lot of trials. Why? Because you don't need them. If you committed a crime, you'll get punished before the trial even happens. The whole process is something that you definitely would have to at least look up and learn first before you spout absolute nonsense like this. Here's another nonsensical fiction moral outrage. Grown-ass man looking at a fictional underage teenager's cleavage, by the way. Wow, that thumbnail is quite horny. Get this guy to horny jail, please. Unfortunately, aside from getting a ticket straight to horny jail, this guy did nothing wrong. Sorry, the teenager is underage, except the underage teenager in question is an anthropomorphic deer, and a fictional one at that. There's no case to be made here. Carry on. Fiction or not, it's still wrong and gross. Wrong is a moral judgment, and I take a huge issue with that because you just called the guy evil for liking a fictional character. Gross, on the other hand, I can accept. Call us gross all you like, but that guy is still not a horrible person for being horny at a fictional deer. You guys are some of the most desensitized people on Earth. Congrats for unintentionally exposing to everyone that you are new here. People who over-sexualize characters that are 15 to 17 years of age is concerning, if not predatory behavior. Wrong. Absolutely nothing concerning about that. These are fictional characters. They are not real. YouTube is a space full of children. No, YouTube kids are. If any kid sees this on their feed, it's leaving an impression on them. If any kid sees this on their feed, they're on the wrong place and should be booted back to YouTube Kids. Here, I can help you with the booting process. It's still a predatory age gap. Are you seriously comparing a YouTuber's age with a fictional character's age? Bro, you are off your meds. You have zero grasp in reality and you need to seek professional help. Here's another thing that people really need to take their meds on. People's criteria of bigotry can be rather stretched to insane proportions. What if I told you that misogyny against fictional characters is a byproduct of how normal misogyny is in real life, and therefore both should be addressed? You'd be a doofus if you tell me that. Fictional misogyny has nothing to do with real misogyny. I don't understand why you even connect the two. Also, what do you mean misogyny against fictional characters? Sexualizing female characters is not a sign of misogyny. How people treat fictional characters is not an indication of how they treat women in real life. Anyone can be a misogynist. You can write women really well and still be a misogynist.
How do you write women so well?
I think of a man, and I take away reason and accountability.
You would have to define what misogyny against fictional characters is before you can say that they are a byproduct of normal real-life misogyny. And no, only one of them should be addressed, and it's definitely not the fictional one. These moral outrages towards fictional characters will eventually lead to the demands of censorship. We got some censorship takes here, and plenty of them are bad. Not all censorship is bad. Hot take there. We have to understand this. If an industry is profiting off of glorified depictions of patriarchal violence, incest, rape, pedophilia, then it should be censored. Quite a specific brand of violence that has to be censored. Patriarchal violence can be censored, but not matriarchal violence? How does matriarchal violence even look like?
This is my actual mom. Let's do this one more time. So let's say she swings at you, right?
Huh. Never mind, I stand corrected. What about violence in general? Should that not be censored? Or only the patriarchal type that should be censored? The statement gets way more confusing the more I think about it. The effects it has on society cannot be understated. Yeah, sorry to say this, but fiction, including porn, doesn't affect reality that way. The only reason why you think that fiction or porn have affected society that way is because you have completely lost touch with reality and realize that there are way more factors at play. So yes, please, go outside. Apparently, taking a stance against something is quite spineless. You're all so freaking spineless. OMG, but if you ban problematic games, it will be a slippery slope to banning gay people. Yeah, the ban on LGBT content is already happening. I know, because I live in a country that does it all the time. I don't agree with the slippery slope argument this time, because we are already at the bottom of the slope. Have you considered, even in that scenario, banning games glorifying rape isn't the problem itself? Or do you just want an excuse to have it stay up? Well, yes, if it stays up, then we know that people still have the freedom to express themselves, even if we personally don't like the content. It's not about liking or not liking those games. It's about letting people express themselves with those games. They are fictional. They are not real. It's clear that you guys don't want pedophilia, incest, and rape to be banned at all. Wow, you make it sound so horrific when they're literally just fiction. It's clear that you guys don't want theft and murder to be banned at all, right? People are already being censored for being minorities. That's why I said we're already on the bottom of the slope. But that's irrelevant because we should not encourage censorship of fiction either way. If you are a not safe for work account looking to reply to my tweet with loli porn, as it happens every time I tweet about this, just remember, I am a minor. Then why are you talking about not safe for work stuff, you little brat? Maybe don't talk about 18 plus content if you don't want to be swarmed by 18 plus accounts. Screw it, give them the Jack Marston special. And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Huge thanks to all the wonderful sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube membership, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.